All right, we are live right now on YouTube with who we with here? My
Tony
friend
Brown, baby.
Tony Brown. We are live on YouTube with Tony Brown and Rich D, and we got a show for you called Real Talk. And we're just gonna talk it out, man. We're gonna talk about stocks. We're gonna talk about trending topics. There's some big fights that people want to talk about. I know that we might as well just start with that. Let's just start with that. So right now, we were talking about it earlier. Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather are trying to create a super fight. And I think that Conor has a puncher's chance. He's a lefty. He's a puncher's chance of knocking out Floyd Mayweather. Now you think I'm crazy, right?
Man, listen, man. We talking about Money Mayweather. We already know he basically doing this as a publicity stunt. Ain't nobody gonna take it too serious, But I just don't think anybody can touch him, man. Everybody know he danced a lot, but that's Floyd Mayweather, man. He untouchable. That's why his face. He ain't never had a cut on his lip. You ain't never seen him with a black eye. You ain't never seen Floyd with a bloody nose. So what makes you think all of a sudden Conor McGregor gonna come in there and be able to do this to this man?
They call him Mystic Mac. I don't know, man. He's something special about this Irishman. There's something special about this Irishman. I don't think he's the normal Irishman. I'm telling you, man. There's something special about that guy. He's the richest UFC fighter in the history of the UFC. He's only been in the UFC for, a short period of time compared to guys like Tito Ortiz and Randy Couture and the guys that have paid their dues. These guys have paid their dues, and this guy's getting all the money. I'm hearing he's worth like $30 million. $30 million. I heard his net worth is $30 million. And there's other fighters fighting for like $5,000 a fight. And this guy's got $30 million. So if you're Randy Couture, if you're any of these guys, how does that make you feel knowing that this guy came in to the UFC, made more money than anybody, and now he wants to fight a boxer? And I'm hearing that he could make $70 million on this fight.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, ain't it? That's crazy. And Floyd ain't even gonna step in the ring unless he get that 100 mil. And Dana White still, he part of the UFC, but he basically a worker for them, right? He's basically a promoter.
He's a high-paid promoter. He's very, very wealthy. I hear he's worth about $400 million, actually.
Dana is?
Yeah.
Dana is?
Yeah.
He comes to Floyd, and he tell Floyd, like, okay, I came to you first with $25 million on the table. Now, we all know Floyd ain't stepping in the ring unless it's $100 million. And the most I believe Conor's probably made in the fight is probably somewhere, 10, 15. So Conor, without a doubt, is gonna, double, like more than he's ever made. And when you say 70 million, that's insane.
Well, if you're Conor McGregor, why would you want to fight anybody else? This is a super fight. You're 28 years old. You're going up against a guy who's 42, who has never lost in his life. So nobody expects you to win. So for Conor McGregor, it's a win-win situation. It's perfect for Conor McGregor, actually. He's going to walk in there. He's going to walk in there. He's not going to get hurt. He's not going to get taken He's not going to get taken down. No one's going to even try to take him down. So he's just going to sit there with his left hand, and it's going to be Mystic Mac, and he's going to try to hit him on the chin. He's going to try to get him right on the chin. Right. That's exactly what he did to Jose Aldo. Knocked him out in 13 seconds. Who was the longtime champion. Never been hurt before guy. And Aldo got put to sleep by Mystic Mac. So why can't he do it? And he said, my fist is bigger than his head.
Yeah. I'm not going to explain it to you easily. For one, the UFC used different type of gloves, for one. We ain't never seen McGregor punch with boxing gloves on that weigh 7 times as much as those UFC gloves. Those UFC gloves are damn near bare.
I
They're
agree.
just basically to protect your hand.
But don't you think Conor has a boxer's chance? Just like a Hail Mary, one Hail Mary chance in the temple or the jaw? He seems to just get right.
Don't you think there's been stronger fighters than Conor McGregor that's had that same chance with more experience, more preparation, hungrier, because it means more to their profession. And, Conor's just kind of stepping in and out. He's going to get paid regardless. There's guys who've come after Floyd that, they've sacrificed everything in their life to have that opportunity. And they got that opportunity, and where have they left them? Think about every person that's ever in their life betted on Floyd Mayweather. Think about how them individuals feel that started from day one. There's somebody watching this show right now. There's somebody out there right now. You're that individual that has betted on Floyd Mayweather. Every single fight he has had.
Yeah, you're winning. You're winning. You know what I mean? If you've been betting on Floyd Mayweather,
every fight,
you're winning. I don't care who you are, you're winning. Because that man is 49-0. So, I wouldn't put my money on Conor, but I think he's got a boxer's chance. Nate Diaz thinks he has a boxer's chance. Nate Diaz thinks he can knock him out. Nate Diaz thinks he can knock him out in the 3rd or 4th round. If he can get him early, he thinks he has a chance. Now, what's the chances that Mayweather even lets him put his hands on him? I don't know. There's going to be a lot of dancing.
And you think it's just going to be just one big Hail Mary out of nowhere, that's just going to catch him in the right spot, and Floyd just going to drop, in the ring. Hey, I'll be shocked, but, hey.
He shocked the world before. So I don't know. It's Mystic Mac. Something about that Conor McGregor, there's something about that guy. He has that special power. He has that special gift. He's broken all the pay-per-view records. He's the most talked about UFC fighter who's not fighting. He holds 2 belts.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's going into boxing. And if you're Conor McGregor, why would you want to fight anybody in the UFC who could actually hurt you? Who wants to take you out? Who wants your blood? Right?
Okay, here's something. If McGregor wins, then what?
If McGregor wins, then McGregor just retires. That's it. $70 million in the bank, and he becomes a media company.
At 28, he's done? He would walk away from the UFC and boxing if he beat Floyd Mayweather?
I think, if you're a businessman and you're Conor McGregor and you make yourself $70 million, why would you ever want to go back in the ring again? You've got more money than you ever need. You could just build your brand. He's got a brand. He doesn't need to fight and risk getting hurt and going in there with, the Russian Bull, or a guy like Tony Ferguson who's going to try to take his head off. He knows
I think he do it for the love of fighting. The money and the fame is cool, but I don't think he would like to fall back in the background and then let some other person come up in the rising and then just say, take that publicity away from him. I think he, at the age of 28, you know how we were at 28, man. He got an ego right now, and if another person comes in and take his shine from the media, he most definitely gonna want to step in and fight that person. So and I agree. I would take the money and be out, but he's not gonna do that. He's most definitely go. The reason why I asked what do you think will happen if he One is because then the question is, does he continue? I think the question should be, do you think he should continue maybe fighting a few more boxers, or do he just jump back in the UFC and just leave boxing alone after you probably beat the number one boxer, arguably of all time?
I think after you win $70 million, I think Conor McGregor is a very smart guy. He's a businessman first. He's an entertainer, okay? He wants to be entertaining. So I believe what he does, and he's already talked about it. If you watched his interview, he wants to create an entertainment company. And I'm sure what he'll do is he'll just create an entertainment company to rival Floyd Mayweather. And they'll have, each other's boxers and fighters cross-promote and start cross-fighting more. Maybe this will be something that will start happening more in the future. Maybe we're seeing the future of new combat sports, of, the modern-day Iron Man, the modern-day gladiator. We're taking boxers and we're taking UFC fighters and we're putting them together, and sometimes I think the rules will change. Maybe sometimes they'll get, like Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker has gone from the NFL, and in his 40s, the man is a beast, and he's gone in the UFC, and he's 3-0, I believe, and he's just mauled guys,
like a pit bull. He got them shoulders that almost come up to his earlobes. Man, he a monster in that ring. It's funny that since we talking about UFC, and I'm not, I ain't really a big UFC kind of dude, but I follow it up a little bit when the big fights happen. A fight that I'm disappointed I never got to see?
Which one?
Jones against Silva.
And why? Why do you say Jones versus Silva?
I've seen Silva. I remember when Silva took that brutal kick that snapped his shin in half. I've never seen Jones take a beating, and I've seen Silva do some things that, it don't even seem like the dude is fighting 100%, but I've seen him do some things that look pretty good in his prime.
But he's old now. But he's old now. I love Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
When he was in his prime, that guy was the most dangerous man on earth. Nobody wanted to fight that guy. In his prime, he was the most dangerous man, pound for pound, on the planet. His website, I remember, I don't know if you ever saw it. All he did was have heads. He had all the heads of his opponents on his website, and it was just heads of all the guys he beat. It was the most devastating website I'd ever seen in my life. It was just mentally, he had you beat before you even fought him, because
an approach.
He had their heads on his Facebook channel, on his website, everywhere. Everyone he beat, he had their heads. Now it's kind of turned around. I mean, he's lost a lot, and I think that's kind of tarnished his legacy. And I think a lot of these guys, they have to know when to quit. And I think someone like Conor McGregor is a very smart guy who's already made $30 million apparently. And if he makes $70 million on this super fight against the guy that won't be able to hurt him, to be quite frank, that's the safest fight for him. It makes him the most money. It's the safest fight for him. He could just run around for 12 rounds, take a couple Hail Marys at Floyd. Now, take a look at this. What some people are saying is that he's going to try to get disqualified. A lot of people are saying he's going to get... Yeah. So people are saying that he's going to try to take him down and get disqualified, and then he'll come out and say that he won the fight and claim to be the best pound-for-pound fighter ever in the history of all martial arts and sports, period. What do you think about that? Imagine if that happened.
That would be real bad.
That would be really bad.
That wouldn't be good at all.
No.
Oh.
That would be a nightmare, right?
That'll be super horrible, man. You see protesters, more protesters out. You think you see protesters now?
But that would be a crazy twist, and that's what people are talking about in the media. They're talking about that in the media. Yo, man, I have to talk about your LeBron James jersey because I was obviously on Friday. I was wearing my LeBron James jacket, and I had that since when LeBron was in Cleveland before he left the first time.
You know what?
And a lot of people, hold on. A lot of people burnt their jerseys. Now, you never burnt your jersey, right? You held on to your jersey. You were smart, right? You would never burn a LeBron jersey.
No, I got this in 2008.
Okay. So
I saw ignorant people doing that in the middle of the street, man.
Well, I mean, those jerseys are probably worth a lot of money right now.
Man, goodness. Yeah, real bad. I got 3 of them. I went to the All-Star game in 2007 in Vegas. So I got like 3 LeBron jerseys. Yeah, man, I kept that through the Cleveland through the Miami years, and yeah, when he came back, it was a real good thing, man. So.
Oh,
like that original jacket you had, man. I told you what I would do if I was in Canada. You'd come home, you wouldn't have that jacket.
Yeah, and honestly, LeBron James, and I want to talk about LeBron James because everybody's saying that basketball's fixed now, but LeBron James is the NBA, and he proved that last year by single-handedly beating the best team in history, statistically.
Absolutely.
Golden State statistically broke all the regular season records, and this guy goes out there, and single-handedly beat them. He was leading in every single statistical category of the NBA Finals: points, rebounds, blocks, everything, steals, everything, every single category he led in. So, obviously, he was the MVP. He won his 3rd championship. He's been in the finals how many years in a row now? 7? I believe he's been in the finals 7 years in a row, something that Jordan didn't do. And he actually is saying, and he believes his goal is to be, as good, if not better, than, dare we say it, MJ.
Then this guy right here.
Then MJ.
Then this guy right here.
Then that guy right there. The guy that makes those game-winning shots. Okay?
This guy right here.
Yeah, the best ever. 6-time champion, right? 6 for 6. Now, LeBron has won it 3 times, and he's lost 4 times, correct? He's been in the finals 7 times, I believe.
LeBron got, he got...
At least 7 times he's been in the finals, if not more. He's been in the finals
3 and 4. He's like 3 and 4, I believe.
Yeah, but he's been in the finals between 7 and 9 times. He's been in the finals, I believe, 7 years in a row, which is unprecedented, which essentially, to me, means teams have to team up to try to beat LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
You got to try to team up and be the San Antonio Spurs, or you got to team up and be the Golden State Warriors to try to beat LeBron, because everybody's trying to beat LeBron because the guy's in the finals every year. So if he's won it 3 times and Jordan's won it 6, but he's been in there 7 in a row, and he's still young, how old is LeBron? 32?
32, yeah.
So he's young, man. With his body, that guy's a tank. He's
still got a good 7 more years of primeness.
Yeah, like Karl Malone, body, monster, right? So,
but you know what it sounds like you're kind of leading up to here?
I think he has a chance to be, as good, if not better than Michael Jordan, if he continues to win every year. If he just keeps winning. Because if he gets to the point where winning just becomes second nature, where it did with Jordan, for example, where he could just turn it on and nobody can beat him in the finals like he did last year. If he does it again this year, and then the year after that, and then the year after that, and he just keeps doing it, when can you say, okay, he's better than MJ? When he has 6 championships, 7 championships? Because he's got Kyrie Irving, who I think is probably Top 5 player in the NBA. He's that good.
I wouldn't say that, but I think I might be biased if I say yeah. But
well,
I truly believe that. But I'm
he hit that game-winning shot. He hit the game-winning shot. He hit the game-winning shot. And when you're able to hit that game-winning shot
for the East, he's the starting point guard for the East.
And he hit the game-winning shot to win the championship, to make LeBron look like a king. And to be honest with you, LeBron is not afraid to give him that ball. So, and he hit that game-winning shot right in Steph Curry's face.
You like that, don't you?
Hey, man, I was drinking the Kool-Aid on Steph Curry last year myself. Curry's been, like, so big. He's been on fire. Like, everyone's talking about Curry, MVP. And then LeBron just came out. And honestly, he silenced a lot of critics.
Did no one see the 3-1 comeback coming? That was such a shock. A lot of people lost a lot of money during that time because, first of all, Golden State with the firepower they had, there's no way they're going to lose 3 games in a row. That never even happened during the regular season.
Well, don't forget Draymond Green gets suspended for Game 5.
For the super kick?
Yeah, for the kick. But, people forget about the fact that LeBron, jumped over him. Did a gym move and a frog move and jumped over him. Mounted him. If a 300-pound man mounts you, do you not want to kick him back? If LeBron James mounts me, I'm on the ground smashed. I'm like a small guy, okay? I'm not a big guy, first of all. But Green felt it. This guy mounts him. He jumps over him. And then in retaliation, he kicks him. So if you're gonna suspend Green, shouldn't you suspend LeBron? Because he mounted him.
Well, the league's a little biased. I don't know, man, but...
I don't know. He mounted him. So, obviously, that was staged. If there's anything that's staged, that whole scenario there was staged. If it is staged, that was staged. Okay, I'm going to mount you. You kick me in the nuts. And then we're going to suspend you for Game 5. And then you come all the way back and you're the king. You're King James. Here's your crown. You got 3 now. Go for MJ. Now you got 3 more. You to get to MJ. Right?
You know what? I think he'll most definitely get to about 3, 4, 5 more finals. But I don't think I can't give him a guaranteed win because San Antonio and Golden State are right there. And do you really think it's going to be easy for him to do? And you think it's going to be? Will they have to come back from another 3-1 deficit? Is it go get harder?
Well, look at baseball. Look at baseball last year. Baseball, it's like everything is Cleveland right now. Everything is Cleveland right now. Everything is Ohio. Everything is Cleveland. Everything is Ohio right now. Right? Baseball was the same thing. Went to Game 7. So, it's all about ratings. It's about the cheese. You're in Wisconsin. It's about the cheese. It's about the cheese, right? It's about making money.
All about here is the cheese and the beer.
Yeah, so it's all about making money, right? So that's what it's about. So you
lose that revenue, huh?
Everybody wants to see LeBron James either win or they want to see him lose. Either way, there's nobody in the East that's gonna beat Cleveland.
Yeah, I don't think the Celtics got a chance. They try to hype it like they do, but
Toronto picked up Serge Ibaka, and I'll be honest with you, and Tucker, and I really like those pickups, but Lowry getting hurt just killed the Raptors' chances. But Serge Ibaka on the Raptors.
I didn't know Lowry was hurt.
Pardon me?
I didn't know Lowry was hurt.
Yeah, Lowry was hurt. Lowry got hurt, and ever since he got hurt, he had surgery.
Oh, he out for the season?
Well, they're saying he's going to come back for the playoffs, but
he won't be.
He won't be the same.
Yeah, it's gonna take him. Hopefully, if y'all go far enough, he can kind of get back in the groove. Toronto decent though. Y'all got a decent squad. You know.
Well, I think Ibaka was perfect, and they got Tucker, so they got two good defensive presence, which they needed, and they got DeMar DeRozan, who's been on fire. I don't know if you've been watching this guy, DeMar DeRozan, but man, that kid from Compton, that kid is sick.
DeMar DeRozan like the Raptor.
The Raptors always get guys that look like Raptors. Look at Chris Bosh. He looked like a Raptor too. Chris Bosh looked like a Raptor too. It's like they have these guys. They want the guys that look like the Raptors. You know what I mean? They got that look.
Chanel said that she's like Anthony Davis looked just like a Pelican.
Yeah. So who's your pick for the NBA Finals this year?
For the final, it's gonna be a rematch.
Yeah, Golden State versus Cleveland.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be shocked if it's San Antonio instead. You know, because San Antonio got a super good team. Popovich, to me, is probably the best coach in the NBA.
But you think that the NBA is going to resist the opportunity to have LeBron and Kyrie versus Curry and Durant? That's primetime television, my friend.
Oh yeah,
that's some primetime television.
That's Super Bowl ratings, man. But you know what?
Seven games of that rematch. Oh my goodness, the trilogy. That would be the trilogy, right? That would be the trilogy.
I'm gonna say this, and y'all people out there better write this down, take a picture, do whatever you need to do. Hear my words right now. Enjoy the NBA Finals this year. Okay? When you see Steph and Durant, like he said, against Kyrie and LeBron. Because next year, Curry won't be on Golden State. You heard it here first, right?
Oh, wow. You guys hear that?
Let me look over here at you. Hey, you heard it here first, right?
Wow. You guys heard that. So what?
I don't know if y'all looking at the tension and how they, but...
Yeah, there's just only one ball. There's only one ball, and you got too many superstars on one team. Green doesn't get to touch the ball anymore, ever.
It's too much.
And, there's just too many superstars on one team. Like, how many stars do you need to try to stack up to try to beat LeBron? That's what it comes back to the same thing. Everybody just trying to beat up on LeBron.
Hey, and we brought it to you here first to let y'all know. So it's not a big surprise. We can play this to y'all when it actually happened to show y'all that this was predicted a long time ago. So there you have it.
Let's talk about the stock market, Tony.
Let's do it, man.
Let's get into the markets.
Let's do it.
What's on your mind in the markets? What's gonna happen in this market? Let's talk about stocks.
Well, let's bring up my baby, the one that got me into the stocks. It's funny, I kind of put out a little message about a month or so ago to all my friends. I'm like, you know what? Y'all know where the money is? The money in the stocks. And the reason how I got into it, and I'll make this real quick. Overheard some guys talking about, I work for a gold refinery, and one of my coworkers is invested in the Northern Dynasty, and he started talking about it. And at that time, Northern Dynasty jumped up to about $3 a share, and he was checking his phone. He's like, "Oh, I just kind of made $2,000 overnight or something." He said, "Huh? What you mean?" So he's like, "Oh, the stock markets. I got a brother that's in New York, and he telling me certain stocks to pick, and I load up on them, and I don't know what's going on. I just listen to what he say. I'm like, oh, okay. So then I go back to my desk and do a little research. I'm like, Northern Dynasty. I'm like, oh, that's a little gold mine in Alaska. Okay, this thing supposed to blow up. So I'm like, okay. So that's how I kind of got started into the whole stock exchange market. So let's talk about Northern, man, because like I said, I'm kind of married to this stock right now, and I know how you feel about it, man.
Well, you know what? I really like Northern Dynasty Minerals. It was one of my favorite picks of the year. It was on fire. It was a company that was growing. It was a company that had huge potential. It was a company that was on everybody's radar, everybody's watch list. Bar chart had it as like 100% buy for months. And then, the Carisdale report came out and all this negative publicity came out and the stock started tanking. So, where are we at now? $1.23? Is that where we're at?
$1.20.
$1.20. I'm just trying to pull up the level 2. Obviously, the markets are closed right now. They'll be open in a few hours. Last trade, $1.20. So, yeah, last trade, $1.24, then $1.20. So, it's trading between like $1.20 to $1.24. It's going to have to find a bottom sooner rather than later. But because they actually have so much negative publicity and so much negative news, it's a really big problem. It's a really big problem. It's affecting the stock dramatically.
So is it the shorters that's getting at it?
Well, it's a combination of the shorters.
The people just getting rid of it.
It's a combination of the shorters, the people involved in the deal, the sellers that are involved in the deal, the insiders that are involved in the deal. Anybody that has these shares is dumping them because they feel like it could go into penny stock range.
Yeah.
Like under $1, and then who knows how low it goes, right? So that's why everybody's ganging up right now, and everybody wants to, get their money back. Everyone wants to get protected.
Well, I thought the whole understanding was, get the EPA lifted and the ball get the rolling after that. The whole Carisdale report was an inside job. It was, basically a booby trap to try to undermine all the stockholders so they would sell off and, people would go in and buy it up. So, I don't know what, by me being so brand new, I see so many reports on it because I'm digging at it every single day. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of conflicting sometimes just because every report is different, So you got to kind of do super hard, due diligence and research just to kind of get to a conclusion about things,
Well, I think, you got to just look at and see what happened. I mean, it went from $1 in the summertime. It went all the way to like $3 plus. Now it's all the way down to $1.20. So I think it's a very dangerous stock. I think you have to be very, very careful. And I am looking for the bottom, and I think it still has potential. But because of all the negative publicity, once you get that many people that are being negative about you, it's like a vicious cycle, it just continues and continues and continues. And I think it's really dangerous stock. I think it could rebound. I hope it does rebound. I don't like seeing stocks get buried like this, but you never know. It's possible that it doesn't. So you got to be very, very careful. And if you do have that stock, just be very careful. And you can contact the company and you can actually join the class action lawsuit to try to get protected against losing money in that stock if you have invested in the company. So, do your due diligence, contact the company if you're in on NAK and the stock is down and you're hurt, and you can most likely participate in the class action lawsuit. And typically what happens in those situations is you will get some type of compensation, some type of preferred shares or shares to cover you against your losses in the security. So someone in the room just gave me a symbol, gold pick, GSDC. So I'm just pulling it up here on my phone, GSDC. Now, Gold Sands Development Co. I'm a little bit concerned about it because there's a stop sign. Okay, guys? So whenever I see a stop sign on a stock, see the stop sign there? Okay? See the stop sign? Excuse me. Whenever I see a stop sign on the stock, that tells you that the company is not up to date on their filing requirements. So most likely they're not up to date on their filings. They're not up to date on something. So that is concerning to me. So whenever you see a stop sign, you want to be very, very careful. Most likely your brokers, like in Canada, they won't even let us buy those stocks. Okay? So you got to be very, very careful, and you got to make sure that, you are doing your research and you're investing in good companies that are up to date and are transparent. You don't want to get stuck in stocks in companies that are not up to date in their filings, not up to date in their financials, not up to date in their taxes. Okay? Mm-hmm. Because those things can lead to bigger problems in the future, and then you're going to potentially get stuck and lose your money. Okay?
Yeah.
So GSDC, it might be a good company. I could do a little bit more research, but I would be careful if I was you guys with that one. ACBFF. Okay, so Aurora Cannabis. Now, ACBFF. I really like ACBFF. That's one of the Fab Five, the Five Horsemen that I've been talking about lately. It has one of the largest facilities on the planet, and it's a stock that's a medical marijuana company that you can pick up right now for like pennies on the dollar. Like it's at like $2. I believe you're a holder of the stock. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's at $1.78.
$1.78. And was it up on Friday?
No. I'm looking at it right now. Let me see.
I know that one of them had a move on Friday. I think it was
Yeah, it's up 0.42%.
So under 1%. So it wasn't up huge. So
no.
It's definitely a good time to be looking at this stock right now, guys. It's definitely a good time to put it on your radar. Watch it. It's a medical marijuana deal, and it's going to go up and down. And you guys really got to kind of learn how to position yourself in these good companies at these low prices and just watch them and watch their patterns and watch when they start hitting the bottom. Because if you look at Organogram, OGRMF, it hit a bottom on Friday and it popped up 7%. So I believe a lot of these medical marijuana stocks that have just recently come down a little bit are going to start to rebound. So I really want you guys to start watching very carefully. But I want to talk about what's going to happen on March 15th. Because there's a lot of articles and there's a lot of news coming out right now that there will be a crash on March 15th. So I want to prepare everybody right now. I want everybody to be on full alert, and I want everybody to be watching their portfolios very, very carefully on Wednesday. Wednesday, March 15th, there is a lot of talk that the Fed is going to be potentially doing a rate hike. Have you heard about this, Tony?
Not really.
Okay.
Heard of, not really. Go into more detail if you want, if you can.
Yeah, so I want everyone to do their research, do your due diligence. March 15th, there's a lot of people talking right now that there is potentially going to be a rate hike, and there's a lot of talk on YouTube and all over the place with people talking about the market crashing on March 15th. Now, I hope this doesn't happen.
Let me add to that if I could.
Go ahead.
Because you remember I told you I'm in the gold business.
Yes.
And I talk to jewelers all the time. And the inside word is that gold is supposed to spike. This could be far-fetched, whatever. But I heard gold is supposed to spike at the end of the month for at least 2 days between $3,000 and $5,000 an ounce. Gold is at like $1,200 an ounce right now.
So the only way for the gold to spike like that would be for the market to crash. Because if the market was to be at all-time highs like it is right now, the way it's getting set up, the way we talk about how sports is fixed, how they set it up, create a massive climax, a Game 7, massive ratings. Same thing with the markets, right? Take it all the way up, all-time highs. We're going to the moon and beyond, right? Never happens, right? Gets to the very top, and then the next thing that happens is there's always a crash. So the prediction is it's going to be March 15th. You guys heard it here first on Rich TV Live. I want to bring you guys the information as it happens. Now, anybody that has a portfolio like me doesn't want the market to crash. Like Tony, And nobody wants the market to crash. So that's my full disclaimer on that. I don't want this to happen, guys. I'm just telling you that this is what I'm hearing could happen, and I'm hoping it doesn't. Some of you have been contacting me this weekend asking for my opinion. So I thought I'd come out here live with Tony, one of the subscribers to Rich TV Live, and talk to you guys about it because I want to alert everybody, and we want to be able to create a community of intelligent people that can work together and help each other identify these massive moves in the market. Because if the market does crash, we want to be prepared, and especially be prepared to buy. Because if things go all the way down, that's going to create a massive buying opportunity for everybody involved. You also have to consider that if things are going to crash, you might want to liquidate some of your positions, just because if it does crash, you don't want to get stuck. So that's something that we have to think about, and I want to bring to everyone's attention because I've been doing my research and I've been finding a lot of articles, a lot of videos on YouTube and all over the place about that. So I just want you guys to be aware of that. So March 15th, what do you think, guys? Do your research. I want to know, do you think there's a possibility there could be a market crash? Do you think there's anything in to what I'm saying? Am I just making this up? Am I nuts? Am I crazy? Am I right? Am I wrong? What's your guys' opinion? I want to know. That doesn't give us much time, guys. It gives us like 3 days. So, if the market is going to crash, we all want to be prepared, right? So, we're all hoping that doesn't happen, but...
Let me ask you something.
Go ahead.
Now, were you heavily into stocks when the market crashed? Was it like 10 years ago or so?
Yes, I was. In 2007, okay. I was very heavily involved in stocks, and I got very, very badly hurt in all my entire portfolio when the market crashed. But
what type of indicators did you get back then that it was going to potentially happen, or it just caught you off guard back then?
Well, I think everybody was talking about the market crashing, and I remember it very similarly to where we are right now. But you never believe it's going to actually happen until it happens. And you don't really know how to prepare yourself, because if you're in the markets and you're in the markets on a daily basis and you're making money with the market, how do you just pull out and wait for the crash unless you know a specific date? That's why I wanted to alert you guys about March 15th, because I just want to, prepare you guys just in case, because I don't want anybody getting hurt.
That almost makes me think it could happen sooner than March 15th.
Guys, do research on YouTube right now. Go on YouTube right now, guys. Type in March 15th, 2017 market crash. I'm telling you, you guys will see a lot of videos, a lot of evidence, and I don't want to show them here because I don't want to have copyright issues. Otherwise, I would show them to you guys, but they're not my videos, okay? I don't have the evidence. What I want to do is I want to make you guys aware so you guys can actually go and research it right now and find out for yourself what could be happening on March 15th. But from what I'm hearing, there's a lot of major inside players that are predicting that March 15th the market is going to crash. And it's going to crash hard. And it's going to crash heavy. Now, I hope this doesn't happen. I'm praying it doesn't happen. Please, guys, do your research. If you guys find the videos, you guys can share them in the live chat right now. Feel free to share those videos in the live chat, guys. I don't want to show it on here because I don't want to have any issues with copywriting. They're not my videos, but there's a lot of videos circulating right now that I watched this weekend pertaining to the fact that the market is going to crash March 15th. And I was very disturbed by them. But what I do remember from the last crash was that the market did recover very quickly. Like, it crashed, the stock market, and then it recovered very quickly. Like, within a few weeks. It was pretty much right back where it started. So it was a crazy buying opportunity. It was a crazy buying opportunity. It was a feeding frenzy for people that were in a cash position that were prepared for the market crash. And that's why I wanted to make sure that everybody's aware of what could be happening. So,
Yeah, you know what? I'm looking at Blue Guru over here in the chat, and he said that something week watch gold trading in China starting tonight.
yeah. So
So
there's a lot of things happening right now, and it's like it's concerning. So the markets did not react very well last week. A lot of medical marijuana stocks did very, very poorly last week. The markets did not do very well last week as a whole. They were trading more sideways or down as a whole, even though some days they would still finish up. I think a lot of that is artificial. So I think the market right now is very, very high, and we all have to be very prepared for a collapse or a crash in the markets just because of the fact that the markets are at all-time highs. So you have to be prepared for that.
So I mean, is Canada still fighting to become legal
Oh yeah. Oh,
nationwide for cannabis this month?
oh yeah. That's going to be happening full blown. But I don't know what the date will be. They're saying that it might be getting pushed back to the summertime. So there's a likelihood that it will get pushed back. That it might not be in the next month. But I believe that they will be the leaders of the medical marijuana industry as far as deregulation. Um, but that's something that it's going to be a process. Um, Brett Wilson, who is one of the major billionaires that's part of the Dragon's Den. I don't know. Have you ever watched the Dragon's Den?
No.
Okay, Dragon's Den is very similar to Shark Tank. Have you watched Shark Tank?
Yeah.
Okay, so Dragon's Den is Shark Tank, but with Canadian very successful millionaires and billionaires. And Brett Wilson is a Canadian very successful investor and entrepreneur. And he is investing heavily in 12 different medical marijuana public companies. And he was talking about it on the Business News Network on BNN. And he was very candid about the fact that the markets are going to be up and down and up and down and up and down. But long term, he loves it and he's investing heavily in it. Heavily.
Smart. That's real smart.
So if he's a billionaire and he's investing heavily in it, well, why shouldn't we? So for me, the way I look at it is I'm just buying these stocks and I'm going to accumulate them. I don't buy stocks and day trade them like, oh, it's up 10%, it's down 10%, get all crazy like that. For me, it's more about accumulating these stocks over a period of years. So if you just keep accumulating these stocks and they're good companies that you like and you continue to watch them, you get to know their patterns. And when you see that they're kind of finding a bottom, like OGRMF just kind of hit a bottom and then it bounced up 7%. It's going to start to climb because these are good companies that are going to make millions and millions of dollars and they're going to continue to grow and get bigger. So as they get bigger and they make more money, expect that their stocks will also continuously grow and expect that their share price to grow. And what happens is when companies are public, and this is what a lot of people don't understand, that are trying to say, oh, Snap is going to fail, Snap is going to fail, Snap's going to fail. Once Snap is public and Snap has all those shares that they can use to go and acquire other companies, they no longer have to grow organically. Now what they can do is they can use their shares that are worth so much. They have so much value. So they can go and use those shares to acquire their growth as opposed to growing organically. So they can go and start acquiring small private companies like Rich TV Live that become a success and have a large database. For example, they're going to start acquiring smaller private companies that are profitable, and then they're going to be able to acquire them with stock. Those companies will gladly do that because those companies will get access to stock which they can sell. And then Snapchat now is going to have the ability to grow their business through acquisition as opposed to doing it organically, which is going to allow them to grow exponentially, which is what Facebook is doing, and it's what Google is doing. Google owns YouTube. Google is the number one search engine in the world. The number two search engine is YouTube. YouTube is the leader of live streaming in the world. Facebook is moving towards live streaming. YouTube pays their content creators, like me, for example. Facebook doesn't. Facebook will move to pay content creators eventually in the future because they're going to want to compete with YouTube because YouTube is growing by 30% every year because they have an unbelievable platform. Because people like me and other people on YouTube are constantly updating new content because that's what you have to do in order to grow on YouTube. So YouTube's business model is a very effective business model. And then in order to actually make money on YouTube, you're actually getting paid by Google. Because Google pays me through my AdSense account. So YouTube doesn't even pay you. Google does. So a lot of people don't understand that. You work with YouTube, you're putting all your videos on YouTube, but then you have to have an AdSense account, which has to get approved by Google, and then they advertise and put ads on your videos, and then you share revenue with them, with YouTube, and you take a portion of that and Google will pay you. And it's a process you have to go through for that too. So what I'm trying to say though is I knew Facebook was going to be successful because I knew once they were public, they would have the tools, which is stock, to acquire their growth, which is the exact same business model which has been used by Berkshire Hathaway. Do you know Berkshire Hathaway's symbol?
Warren Buffett. Is it BKR something dot?
I think it's
what is it?
BRK? Berkshire Hathaway, I believe.
BRK.
I know I have it in my portfolio, but he's got a few different ones. But I know that his stock is trading at about, last time I looked, it was $244,000 per share.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive.
But he pays a 20% annual dividend to his shareholders. So his shareholders are receiving a 5% dividend quarterly. Okay? So understand, if you buy one of those shares and you put in $250,000, you have one share, you're going to be getting $50,000 a year in dividends. So every quarter, you will get $12,500 for your stock, which doesn't really trade, but you don't really care because he's paying you dividends. Your stock's going to stay around the same price. But what's the reason why his stock is worth $244,000 a share? What is it that Warren Buffett does that makes him different than everybody else? Why is he the number one investor of our generation, of all time? What is it that he's done differently? And I talked about it. He acquired his growth. He used the stock to acquire small businesses. So he's like, oh, I like the small business, I'll buy you. And I like that small business, I'll buy you. And I like that small business, and I'll buy you. And I like that small business, and I'll buy you. It's like Monopoly, and you have unlimited money. And you can buy all the properties. Because the shares, once you're public, actually have value. So the thing that people don't understand about Snap and Facebook and Google is they're not just Facebook and Snap and Google. They are businesses that are public. So when you're private, that's one thing. When you're public, that's another. Public companies raise money 10 times easier than private companies because public companies have a market to sell their stock. Private companies don't have a market to sell their stock. Public companies have a market to sell your stock. Now, if you're private, you can still sell shares with the idea that one day you can go public and then those shares will have value. But when you're Snap and you're now public and your shares are worth billions and billions of dollars because they were worth $30 billion day one, now they've got $30 billion worth of stock they can use to go and acquire other small businesses in the social media industry, just like Facebook has been doing.
That's what Facebook did, yep.
To start acquiring their growth, just like Berkshire Hathaway did, Warren Buffett's company. Just like Google's been doing, how they acquired YouTube. So that's what these huge conglomerates and these huge companies are doing when they see that you're a website and you've got a large membership or a large audience. They will just acquire you because now that audience is their audience. Why would they need to work to acquire 5 million subscribers if they could just buy it? And they don't even have to pay you in cash. They'll pay you in stock. And they'll say, you know what? I'll give you twice the amount in stock. And what are you going to say? Hell yeah, that's a good deal. Right? So, I mean, that's the advantage of being a public company that a lot of people really don't understand. So when a lot of people are going out there saying, oh yeah, this company's worth 19, this company's worth 21, it might go down to 19, it might go to 21 if the management is really, really dumb. But if management is smart and management actually knows what they're doing and they're seasoned, these companies that are public should only go up. Because as long as they're building their balance sheet, as long as they're building their financials, and as long as they're acquiring companies that actually make money, they can only go in one direction, and that's up. Their stock's not going to go down if they're acquiring companies that are revenue generating. So it's the same thing with the medical marijuana stocks, Tony. And this is the thing I want to explain to you and to everybody that's watching. Medical marijuana stocks, this is just the beginning. This is not going to be like, oh, it's up one day, then it's down, and then it's over. This is a beginning of something that's going to take years. Okay? So there's going to be highs and there's going to be lows. So you have to kind of look at it like, which are the best companies that I want to invest in long term? Because these are going to be highs and lows, but long term, some of these companies, they're going to be worth $100 a share.
Oh yeah, I most definitely believe that. Tell me this though.
Right?
You said that you didn't like there was one company you said you didn't like. You said you didn't like CBIS.
Well,
why not?
Because CBIS, last time I looked, only had $11,000 in the bank. And for me, if a public company has less money in the bank than me, then I'm not going to invest in them. That's just my mentality. Like, I'm not interested in investing in any company that has less money than me. So for me, I'm looking for good companies that make money, that are smart and learn how to use their preferred shares to go and acquire their growth. What I believe is going to happen is that the Fabulous 5 medical marijuana companies in Canada are going to acquire all of the small medical marijuana companies. And you're going to see all these small medical marijuana companies get acquired by the big boys. And the big boys are going to be regulated heavily by the governments. And the governments don't want to regulate 50 companies or 100 companies or 500 companies or 1,000 companies. They just don't want to. I believe that that's too much red tape. It's too much headaches. And I don't think they want to do that. I believe that they're going to want to minimize it, create a monopoly like they do in every industry. And they're going to identify those key 5 companies. ACBFF, OGRMF, APHQF, TMWJF, and PRMCF. Those Fab 5 that I've been talking about every day, I believe are going to be the dream team. And they will be like what I believe will eventually create like a monopoly. And what they will do is they will acquire all the smaller companies with stock. Because what they're going to do is they're going to look for the good lighting companies, and they're going to look for the good soil companies, and they're going to look for the good watering companies, and they're going to look for all the good growing companies. They're going to look for all these different specialized people, and they're going to acquire them with stock. And what's going to happen is those people are going to join forces because they don't have the licenses. Does that make sense?
It does.
So they're all going to join forces with the guys that have the licenses. And then the guys that don't have the licenses will be on the outside looking in, and then it won't be a good thing for those deals. Because they won't get licenses, they'll get heavily regulated, and then they'll all have to go into like research. They won't actually be able to go into any method of growing. They'll have to go into some type of consulting or some type of research, some type of other method of doing the business without any licensing to grow. Okay? So my belief is that's what's going to happen with these medical marijuana companies, is that the Fabulous Five are going to start to acquire them, and we've already seen it because Canopy Growth Corp acquired Matrium Health. And
Who is that?
Matrium Health is a company, their symbol is MT in Canada, and Canopy Growth Corp, whose symbol is WEED, WEED, TWMJF in America, acquired Matrium Health, which was a $5 stock, and they acquired them for about $430 million of stock.
Yeah.
So we've already seen this happen, and I believe it's going to continue to happen. And that's the one thing that a lot of people don't really understand that you can do when you go public, is you can actually acquire your growth by using the stock to go out and acquire other businesses. So if Snap is smart, and if Snap, you're watching, call me. I'll teach you. I'll educate you guys. You guys should be using your stock to go and acquire all the other smart tech companies all over the world, give them shares that are worth a lot of money right now, and build your empire. Because that's exactly what Google does. It's exactly what Facebook's doing. It's exactly what Berkshire Hathaway does. So that is why companies go public, guys. And you have to understand, when banks go public and they say we're going to do an IPO or we're going to raise money, and we raise $50 billion, they did it by selling stock. They create a class, a Series A, a Series B, a Series D, a Series E, a Series F. They create different classes of stock, which is literally printed, guys. Paper. Sound familiar? Federal Reserve Bank, guys. Printed money. It's printed. Okay? Understand. Who owns the Federal Reserve Bank, guys? Do you guys know who owns the Federal Reserve Bank? Those are the elite, okay? I don't necessarily have to mention names, but the elite own the Federal Reserve Bank. The Federal Reserve Bank is not owned by America. You know that, right? So
I know for a fact it's not.
Okay, so yeah, the Federal Reserve Bank is not owned by America. Thus, America, every time they borrow money, and it's always being printed, and they're constantly using money and borrowing money, they're paying a fee to the Federal Reserve Bank. So the Federal Reserve Bank is getting rich every single day. But the U.S. economy, the U.S. dollar, is the most circulated currency in the world. The U.S. dollar will be accepted in almost every country on the planet. That's why America is the number one country in the world, because the dollar is circulated and used and accepted everywhere in the world. When I go to the Dominican Republic, for $1, I get 45 pesos. So you live like a king in the Dominican. But as a Canadian, you only get 30 pesos. So we're like poor out there. But when you're American and you go to the Dominican, your dollar stretches way more. So that's why so many Americans love to go to the Dominican Republic, because you get 45 pesos to $1. Did you know that, Tony? It's crazy.
I did.
Yeah, so for $100, you get 4,500 pesos. It's a lot of money in the Dominican. So it goes a long way, man.
So, okay, tell me this. Okay, so how much is a cheeseburger in pesos, a McDonald's cheeseburger in pesos over there?
How much is in pesos, it would probably be like, $1 is, let's just say 45 pesos. So, like a combo would be like $10. So it'd be like, or $8. So it'd be like 45 pesos times 8. So let's just say 50 times 8, like 400 pesos.
It's equivalent. It's just a different amount, but it's still
correct. But you're talking about buying American food over there. But what if you buy the Dominican food? If you go and buy the Dominican food that the locals make, now you're paying like pennies, my friend.
Now you're getting the value out of your...
That's right. But what happens is a lot of tourists, they go to the Dominican Republic and they go to the tourist places where they're paying tourist prices. But if you just go off the beaten path and you just go to where all the Dominicans eat, you'll be eating dinner for $2. American.
Man,
$2 American.
I'm coming to your place in a Dominican, man, just to let you know.
Oh, buddy, I'll tell you right now, man. If you go onto Instagram right now, there's videos of people grinding up in the villa. It's not me. People renting my villa. Just go on Instagram. Type in. Just go to Instagram and type in Casalinda Villa 613. That's my villa. It's world famous. It's the party villa. It's the party villa. And everybody's getting ready all the time for the Super Bowl. For the Super Bowl, it's like the best time. Like, we just had tons of people there. It was just a huge party. And if you actually go on Instagram, you can see there's tons of videos everywhere of all the partying that's happening. There's tons of videos.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy. There's lots and lots of stuff out there. There's lots of stuff for you to see. Have you traveled to the Dominican Republic or anywhere in the Caribbean?
No, I haven't. I've never been out the country.
Well, I'll tell you right now, man, you're missing out. You definitely want to go to a place like the Dominican Republic. It's most of the people that rent my property are from America, and they absolutely love it there. They come back like 5-6 times a year. It's really cheap.
It's a nice little place.
Yeah, it's really cheap to fly there. It's usually like about, I don't know, a few $100. So it's like for a few $100, you're in paradise, my friend. And it's
When the next time you going?
I don't know. It's a good question. Right now I'm so busy with, what we're doing here with the show, and there's so many CEOs that are lining up to get onto Rich TV Live. So I honestly don't know the next time I'm going to be able to go. I know that all my buddies want me to go in April. Everybody wants to go. Everyone's asking me to go. Everyone wants to make a move down there, but it's just, I don't know. You know what I mean? Right now we have so much momentum with what we're doing. I don't know if I want to go sit on the beach and lose that momentum. But I think we could create some cool videos, though. We could create some cool videos.
What's up with Angel? Did he ever land them interviews?
Well, Angel actually contacted a lot of the companies, and we've got their contact information, and we're going to be contacting them all this week. So yeah, we're going to be working on getting the Kronos Group on the show. We're going to be working on speaking to Canopy Growth Corp. We're going to be working on speaking to Kush Bottles. Angel did an amazing job of getting contact information from all of those CEOs. What we thought is, we're not a nonprofit here. We're for profit. We're business people. And Angel thought, why would we interview anybody for free?
Makes sense.
Let them pay to be on the show, because to be honest with you, we've got a very, very intelligent community of individuals that are growing, and we're going to continue to grow this platform. And as this channel grows and it continues to grow, I don't think that we should ever do work for free. I think we should be compensated. So if you bring me some business, for example, I would compensate you. Like, let's say you invested in a company, the stock went down. And I said, you know what, Tony, call up the company. And then that company, you started talking to that company. The company heard about Rich TV Live and said, yeah, I'd like to get on the show. And they got on our show, and we sent them a contract. I would give you a consulting fee with my company, an arrangement where you would be compensated for your work. I believe professionals deserve to get paid. And what I want to do is I want to create a community where people can come together, like-minded people, and we can talk about different ways to make money, whether it's in the stock market, whether it's in real estate, whether it's in, honestly, anything. I don't really care. I'm a pretty open-minded guy. I just like to have fun, and I like to make money. Life is too short. I'm a single dad. I know that you've got a child. You said one child, or you have more than one child?
No, I got two.
Two child, perfect. So you got two kids, just like me. So you've got two kids, and you see your kids on a schedule. So there's a lot of dads like us out there, And I have another channel on YouTube. It's actually called Single Dads Live that I want to start to build, and I want to build a brand with that too. And that's going to just be a place for single dads to talk about what they can do to get themselves prepared to go to court, what they can do to fight for their children, that it isn't a dead end situation, that there is life after divorce, there is life after separation, that you can turn your life around, that you can be a success after separation and divorce, that you can be happy after separation and divorce, that you can still be a really good father after separation and divorce, and that you can learn from it and become a better person and still be a person that has a good relationship with your ex-wife, and that how important that is for your children. If you can try to have that type of environment, and a lot of times it gets cultivated by us having an environment where we can talk about it, like literally just having an environment to talk about it, because when I was going through it at first, it was very hard for me. And I didn't really know who I could talk to. But then I talked to some friends that went through it, and they helped me a lot. And I've had some friends that I've talked to that have just recently gone through it, and I was there for them kind of the way some of my friends were there for me. So I think if we created a community and a platform where we could all talk about it, then some of those guys that are going through it, that are fresh, and they're going to go through court, and they're really scared, and they don't know what to do, it's good for them to have a place where they can go and talk to other guys and say, hey, what should I do? How do I do it? What's the chances? How do I even move on with my life? It's good to have a place to talk about it, right? And I don't believe that we should be talking about it every day on this platform, but I believe on that other platform, which I'll be creating, it's called Single Dads Live, and you guys can subscribe, and we can start building that one too, is going to be just a place where we can just talk about it and give guys a place to feel like it's okay. Because I think
ask questions and get answers and feedback from one another, and if you build a community, somebody's gonna have more experience than the next person, and man, it's just like how for instance, this channel, your channel helped me to it helped educate me about the stock market, like the things I know now versus 2 months ago. It's like night and day. I remember asking one of my coworkers, I go, I asked him about a month ago, I go, what does bullish mean in the stock market? He's like, wow, you got a long way to go. But it's funny now because I understand the difference between bullish. I understand the difference between bearish. It's totally night and day just because of the platform I was able to go to get the education.
Well, it's amazing because the stock market creates more millionaires than any other business every single year. And real estate creates more millionaires than any other business every single year. Those two are the two things that I talk about every single day. So if you are invested in real estate and you invest in stock and you invest in yourself and you learn how to market yourself and you learn how to brand yourself in this world, and you learn to think like an entrepreneur, and you're entrepreneurial, and you learn to find what it is that you love, and you find your passion, and you really just try to focus on doing that. To me, that's really the secrets of the universe. It's like, why am I really doing something I don't want to do every day? Why would I want to do that? I don't really want to do that. So we have to sometimes because we got to pay the bills. But why are we living in this cage? We think we have freedom. We all fought for freedom. Our ancestors fought for freedom. Now we have freedom. And once again, we're stuck in a cage. And it's called the rat race. And I don't say this to be disrespectful to anybody that has a job, okay? But I say it to try to create awareness that we all have different skills and we're all born with different skills. So how do we identify those skills? How do we find our passion? How do we find the secrets of the universe? What are the secrets of the universe and why are we even here? That's kind of really what I want to talk about, because for me, I want to buy stocks, I want to buy houses, I want to make money, I want to travel, I want to have fun, I want to see my kids grow up, I want to see them do well. But what else is there? Because once you get to that point in life where, okay, you've achieved a lot of those plateaus, it's like, what's next? Like if you're Floyd Mayweather and you've made $300 million, what the hell is next? He has to come out of retirement. He has to fight Conor because he's bored. Right? He's going to make another $100 million because of it, but the guy's probably just bored, right? So, like, what is the secrets of the universe? Like, what are we going to do before we die? I'm 39 years old. Based on statistics, I'm halfway in my life to the end of my life. So
I'm going to say halfway to croaking there, brother.
That's right. So if statistically I'm halfway to being where I don't want to be, what the hell am I going to do for the next 39 years? I don't necessarily want to be stuck in Vancouver in the rain and in the cold. I'd rather be on the beach in the Dominican or Cuba or Mexico or somewhere in Florida or California if I had my choice. But you don't always get what you want. But I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, why are we always slaves to our lives? We don't really truly utilize the freedom that we have at our disposal. We're all trapped in these lives that we've created for ourselves, and we're all kind of in our own little matrix. Do you know what I mean? Everybody has their own matrix. Everybody. Yep. So it's like what are the secrets? So what are we really doing all this for? What are we gonna do in the next 39 years that's gonna separate us and make us memorable? Or are we just gonna get old and become those old people that our kids don't want to take care of anymore? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think about that stuff, That's what I think about. I don't know. Am I crazy to think that way? I don't know. You guys tell me.
It's great logic. It's great logic if you ask me. I was going to say, man, give me a beat or something, man. Give me some Otis. Are you listening? Give me some of that.
You want something funky.
I don't like this song. Yeah. I was bumping this in the car today.
All right, guys. So we've been talking about a lot of different things right now. We've been doing some real talk. Rich and Tony Brown. How late do you want to go, my friend? How late do you want to go? I only got time. What time is it?
Yeah, what time is it? Let's give them another 5 minutes, man, because we can do this every Sunday. This is just the first episode of Real Talk. I love it. Real Talk. What's called Real Talk?
So, we got lots of stocks. A lot of things are happening. We got sports happening. We got stocks happening. Tomorrow, we got Monday morning. Market's going to be opening. What do you think? You think the market's going to be up? You think the market's going to be down? What do you think? What's your prediction?
I think they're going to be up.
Okay. You think they're going to be up? That's optimistic?
Yeah, I think they're going to be up.
Okay.
I think they're going to be up.
Okay. Well, I really want you guys to keep watching the Fab Five. ACBFF, APHQF, PRMCF, TWMJF, OGRMF. Watch them, guys. They're the Fab Five. They're absolutely on fire. I know that they've been getting beat up a little bit, but I believe long term, guys, these are going to be absolute winners, okay? And I really want to continue to focus on identifying winners, and we want to get better at identifying them at the right time. And if you guys are down right now, and the markets have been down the last couple weeks, be careful. March 15th, do your research, guys. They're projecting and predicting that the markets are going to crash. Now, I've got a lot of stocks. I'm sure you do too. I know Tony does too. We don't want that to happen, but I want to make you guys aware. I want you guys to know it first here on Rich TV Live. That's what we do here, is we want to create a platform where we can bring you guys real information, real news in real time, live, literally at any time. Tony, myself, could come live to you guys. We want to start bringing a show on a consistent basis, hopefully every Sunday, but once in a while we might just go live sometime during the week. Just because we got something to talk about, okay? We got America, we got Canada, we got coast to coast, all over the world, people watching. And you know what? We're going to continue to bring you guys winners every single day. I think it's going to be a very sketchy week too, guys. I think you guys need to be very, very, very careful in the markets. Please be careful this week, guys. We'll be watching it very, very carefully. I want to get some tunes. What do we got here? What do we got here? All right, my friend.
Every day, with no problem.
I'll tell you this right now. Thank you for having me. Thank you for bringing me into your home. I really loved having you. I hope we can do this consistently.
You, man, I appreciate it a lot.
You know, I just like being real, and I love the fact that you're real, man. And I love getting a chance to have a Canadian perspective and an American perspective on the show. And I just want to show people that I'm a normal guy, I'm a real guy, and tell the people, Tony, like we've been talking, right? Like you can just call me, right?
Man, we've been on the phone for hours, dude. Like there's times where I've left work and I've called you on the way to my car, and I've walked in the house, ate dinner, done with dinner, and I'm still on the phone with you from the conversation from when I left the house. Real dude, I appreciate the fact that every time I text or every time I call you, you answer the phone. And you give me all the time in the world. So I appreciate that a lot, brother. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Real talk.
Well, hey, man, you know what? I appreciate you coming on the show, man. Enough respect. I love having you on the show. I think you did a great job. I think you're a natural. And I think
it's like my first time on YouTube, man. I ain't really done no video. I had to quick. He was like, man, let's go live. I said, oh, snap. Now I got to shave my head up and, trim it up a little bit. Throw on my Badger shirt, even like I said, even though we took that L today. But, big dance next week, man. We'll have a lot to talk about.
That's
basketball next week.
That's right. Hey, guys, get me your picks in, guys. March Madness. March Madness. When March Madness goes on, things are about to get crazy around here. Okay, we're gonna have a lot of fun, and I'm a huge sports fan. I'm an Indiana Hoosiers fan. Okay, so go Indy, and I'll tell you guys right now, I can't wait for March Madness. Both the real basketball and our own tournament winner getting a Rich TV Live T-shirt, which we're in the process of creating and printing, and soon you guys will be able to pick that up on Rich TV Live, right on our website, guys. It's crazy. I'm mind-boggled with how fast things are growing, and it's all because of people like you, Tony. I love you guys. Like I said, without you guys, none of this is possible. And get ready, guys. In a couple hours, I'll be bringing you those winners. Get ready for my full alert. I'll be watching the market. Will you be watching those full alerts?
All day long, baby. Full alert. Full alert. Let me get that horn. Let me get that full alert horn. That full alert.
All right. You want to hear that horn?
Let me full alert. Full alert. That horn.
No, I'm going to give you the air horn before we go first. First, I'll give you the air horn. All right, let me find that. Where are we at? Let's give you the air horn first.
Shout out to the air horn.
There's the air horn.
Yes, sir.
That's the air horn, baby. That's
yes,
right.
Sir.
That's right. There's the air horn. And you want the full alert. You want the full alert. Which one is the full alert?
It's like a siren.
Hold on. I know you guys want to hear my music.
I'm going to help.
Look at all the music I got, guys. I like this one. This one.
There it is. Full alert.
Full alert! Full alert!
Full alert.
Be ready, guys! In a couple hours, those full alerts are coming to you from Rich TV Live, absolutely free. Let's give it up for Tony Brown, my man. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Have a great Sunday. We'll see you in a couple hours.
Have a good week, y'all.
All right, Tony. Thanks for having me, buddy.
Peace out, man.
Peace. 1. Would you like to see some more? Alright, guys. Now, I want you guys to watch OGRMF. They were up 7% on Friday, and I told you guys they would be hitting a bottom. And they had a really good Friday. OGRMF, one of the Fab 5. I want you to put it on your watch list, put it on full alert. OGRMF. I'll be watching it tomorrow morning. I got a lot of other stocks, guys. Friday, CATB was up 53%. Keep it on your radar, guys. It was on fire. Just remind you guys of some stocks. RNN was up 19%. AXDDF was up 15%. And I really love ACBFF, guys. Aurora Cannabis. Make sure these are on full alert. IMMU was also up 5% at $6, guys. There's 6 different stocks. Take a look at this. That we're all moving. I'm going to be bringing you some stocks, some full alerts in real time, guys. So get ready. It's going to be coming in a couple hours. Okay? Get ready, guys. Make sure you guys go to the website, richtvlive.com. Make sure you guys go to the Google Play Store. There's our app, guys. Right beside Bloomberg? Really? Right beside TMZ? Really? Rich Dad Coaching? We're beside Rich Dad Coaching. Rich TV Live is beside Rich Dad Poor Dad Coaching. We're beside CTV News. Oh my goodness. I love it. Thank you, Dan the IT guy. Without you, none of this is possible, my friend. My goodness, people. What are we going to leave you with today? What should I leave you with? Would you guys like to see the beach? Everybody loves the beach, right? Who doesn't love the beach? Who doesn't love the beach, guys? Let's see. Let's look at the playlist, shall we? These are all the playlists on Rich TV Live. You guys can see lots of stuff on Rich TV Live. Lots and lots and lots of stuff. We've literally got hundreds of videos, guys, in our library. Every day being updated. Look at all these videos, guys. All Rich TV Live videos. You too can come on Rich TV Live. Just call me, guys. Don't be afraid. Email your top 10 to richtvlive@gmail.com, guys. Let's leave you with something. Where are we at? Let's do that again.
How you guys doing? Happy Thanksgiving. This is Rich here from Rich TV Live.
I love you all. We're all one. Without you, none of this is possible. With you, all of this is possible. Because remember, all I do is bring you winners.
Lots of trees, lots of sunshine. Yeah, we got no problem with flooding here. It's bone dry here. About 30 degrees. Happy Thanksgiving to all my American friends. Dallas Cowboys, 10 in a row, 10-1 right now as we speak. Dominican Republic is one of the places to be here this winter. Make sure if you're looking for a place to vacation, you come to the Dominican Republic, okay? Don't believe the hype. They're all on TV talking about how there's flooding and stuff. There ain't no flooding here, guys. No flooding, okay? That's just the pool that we fill up ourselves. I can show you the streets if you want. Go outside and show you that there's no flooding whatsoever. We're totally bone dry here. Book your trips. Come on.